Dr. Sean, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Thank you for joining me today and having a bit of chat about immune system function today. I think it's really, really important. We're into flu season. We're seeing a lot more people getting even just common colds and flus, which are really knocking them about, and it's more so than we would expect in a normal year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're experiencing it too, and those out there are experiencing it. That just even the flu or a common cold is just knocking people out.
Yeah, well, I think the last 2 years everyone's been locked up and not really getting exposed to much. So as the viruses change and mutate and things through the environment, we're exposed to them all the time. So our body's constantly changing, and our immune system's always adapting to the viruses in the environment. But if we separate ourselves from the environment for so long, and then all of a sudden we go back out into the world, all the viruses have changed, but our immune systems haven't adapted with it. So all of a sudden we go through a bit of a shock where we take a little bit of an extra hit when we're exposed to them, and knocks us around a bit more.
Absolutely, very true. And I would also add to that the immune system, it's almost like the immune system is fatigued in us, because with regards to what's happened over the last couple of years with regards to COVID vaccines, even flu vaccines that people get, it's a matter of there's only so much that the immune system can take. In that, when a vaccine is taken, what happens is the body mounts an immune response, and then it's mounting another one, and it's mounting another one, and it's mounting another one. It doesn't get any rest. Really the immune system is only supposed to be exposed to one or two flu, cold, major viruses or rhinoviruses in a season. It's not meant to be mounting an immune response for like 6 months of the year or longer. And I just think that obviously not having been exposed to as many bugs is one issue, but another issue is everyone's immune system is just fatigued. So why we're talking about that today is we just need to know the protocols of boosting the immune system up, keeping the immune system boosted so that when it is exposed to a bug, virus, whatever, it knows how to fight it, and it can get it really, really quickly. So I'm actually going to share my screen and we'll go straight to the protocols. So this is the protocol that we actually have spoken about before. So this is the daily protocol. And I'm just trying to increase the size of this protocol here. So this is to keep the immune system boosted on a daily basis. Now we do know that vitamin D is important. A lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. And we pretty much get more deficient when we're not getting as much sunlight, and that is generally in the winter months. So now we're in May, coming into June. It is really important that vitamin D is boosted, and we definitely recommend supplementing that. So we want to go with vitamin C as well. And I hope everyone out there knows that human beings, so we're the only species on the planet who don't make our own vitamin C. So other animals and species actually can make vitamin C themselves. That's why they don't really get deficient in it, but we have to actually eat it or ingest it or supplement. So that's what's very, very important. Also, we have OPCs, oligomeric proanthocyanidins. They're a large category of polyphenols or natural substances that are high in antioxidant content, and they're very important for the immune system. A couple of optional ones there. We have, Dr. Sean, vitamin B6, B12, something that can get in a B complex vitamin supplement or a multivitamin, just to boost the immune system up. Very important too. So that's the general protocol. Now, what if we get a bit of an itchy throat? What do we do?
We want to boost it all.
Yeah, and we really want to boost it all very quickly, don't we? So basic protocols are that we want to go five times each of those dosages for 5 days. Now 5 days is safe. 3 days is good, but 5 days is better. So that's more safe. Generally, over the 5 days, we want to be out of the symptom phase Now I'm just going to go to this other. I'm just going to go to this other slide, Dr. Sean, because we actually have some research which shows us why we want to be boosting this up very quickly. There we go. So do you just want to talk to this one with regards to what this study showed?
Yes.
Day one.
So this study, it compared people who were getting the common cold with people who were supplementing with pycnogenol, with the pycnogenol plus the vitamin C, with the pycnogenol plus the zinc, and then also with all three. So what we can see with the control group, so the people who didn't take anything, is they get worse on day two.
So a lot of people, day two.
Yeah, so a lot of people would recognize this. They have one day where they feel a bit average. They wake up the next day and they're terrible. So what we've noticed when you take these supplements, you actually get better day two. You never have that increase in severity like you do if you weren't supplementing with these things. So yeah, all those green lines that you can see that are going down, they're all the different supplement groups. And basically, yeah, the pycnogenol, the vitamin C, and the zinc, all of them are going to help bring those symptoms down, and the severity of all of the typical symptoms, your cough, your fever, your aches, your runny noses, all of those symptoms are decreased, and and the recovery.
Sore throat.
Yep. Yeah, all the classic symptoms.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is a lot of people just are experiencing, you get that sore throat. So wake up one morning or wake up in the morning, get that scratchy sore throat. That's the sign that now we need to boost up. So we want to go 5 times. So sneezing, rhinorrhea or runny nose, nasal obstruction, obviously stuffy nose, malaise, so fatigued, cough, temperature. These are the classic signs. But those first signs, we really want to be making sure we're getting these into the system so that it's just by day 2, we're already ahead of the game. Very important, because if we don't get on top of it by day 3, then that's risky. Okay, now the risk is that if the immune system is tired, it's been overloaded, it's fighting off an infection, the risk is that we actually get a infection with a bacteria as well. So we're fighting off a virus, which are very, very common. We're suppressed in our immune system and how it's functioning, and then we come across a bacterial infection, and that really knocks us out. That's where we're going to get the issues with regards to weeks and needing recovery, etc. So we don't want to go there. We want to make sure that the immune system is actually strong. I'll just get to the other slide presentation, Dr. Sean, so we can speak to that a little bit more. Yeah, so this is it here. And if I could go to that next slide here. So this is what we don't want to get into the high risk category. Obviously, the first risk category is time. So if we're fighting off an infection for more time, that's risky. Definitely by day 3, we want to see that we are getting better. And through this whole last 2 years, everybody has been hearing about comorbidities, haven't they? They've been hearing about being overweight, having issues with blood pressure, being diabetic, having lung conditions. Comorbidities are a risk, so therefore we don't want anyone going through immune sort of response over prolonged periods of time, especially with comorbidities. And then that's where we're going to have to be engaging things like antivirals, in the long run antibiotics, because if we don't, it's very, very risky. Now, also a note that we want to make on antipyretics, or things that take our fever down. We spoke about before that a part of fighting off an infection is temperature, sweats, temperature, high temperature, etc. Now, one of the things that needs to be understood is that some people jump too quickly to the antipyretics and try and lower that temperature. But what happens is they see that the temperature is a bad sign. They see it's a symptom of the infection, and it's got to be taken away and it's got to go. In actual fact, the body increasing its temperature is a way that it's actually not allowing the bugs and the germs, the viruses and or bacteria to live. Because if we increase our body temperature, the virus can't live in a higher temperature environment. So bringing it up in temperature actually kills off the virus very, very quickly. And unfortunately, people take the decision to actually lower their temperature down. The reason why people will generally go down that path is because in the past, when they have had a temperature or something like that, and they have taken, the Panadol or paracetamol, and it's brought the temperature down, they've actually felt better pretty quickly, and their immune system was strong enough to get over the virus over a longer period of time. But what we're seeing now is that people's immune systems are suppressed, they're weakened, so taking those temperatures down is actually going to be a bit risky. We don't want too high temperature. We don't want it getting up in the 39.5 to the 40s, but definitely anywhere from 37, 38, etc. is just a monitoring time period. Okay, so I think that's really important. And if anyone has any questions on this, please do contact us. Please do give us a call just to take you through that, because this is something that we could be working against the body's own immune system protocols pretty much. Okay, so I just wanted to share that too. Now, finally, as well, so people will be thinking, okay, what do we need to do, or what can we do? This is the immune system kit that we've put together. So it's here. So OPC3, vitamin C, multivitamin. Generally, the protocol which works best for most people is 1 dose of these a day to keep the immune system boosted. And I'll just go back to that, which is this, and that's where we went over that slide. Incorporated in that will be the B vitamins as well. In the multivitamin, there is also some zinc in there. And then once we get the scratchy throat, or we have the symptoms of any infection, we want to go to 5 times these for 5 days. So 5 doses of these each for 5 days. And also the only other thing which you would probably want to be adding is just some extra zinc sulfate. And that can just be picked up. There's some of it in the multi, but probably not enough for the cytokine storm. Probably just pick up some more of that in the or from the pharmacy or the supermarket. Pretty easy and pretty inexpensive. So they're the protocols there. What do you think, Dr. Sean? Do you think that's a bit too much information for today?
I think that's perfect. Just 1 serve a day for each of those 3 supplements, and the second you get a bit of a scratchy throat, you go 5 times the dose. Do that for 5 days, and it should be good as gold.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Pretty simple. All right, everyone out there, any questions, please come back to us. Please keep your immune system strong. It's too late once we're fighting off the infection to do, you can do something about it then, but it's, you're starting to get into the risk category. We need to start boosting up our immune system leading up into this winter. And it's already started. The flu and cold season has started way early this year. And this one's going to be a really, really strong one coming up, coming up the next couple of months. Let's all stay boosted. Let's have the arsenal there when we need it, so that it's sitting there in our kitchen. So as soon as we wake up in the morning with a scratchy throat or not quite feeling well, we just start straight away and get right onto it for the next days, and really be confident with regards to where our health is going and how to fight off infections. Thank you very much for your experience, Dr. Sean, and your time today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, see everyone out there. Look after yourself.
There you guys.
Bye.